her uncle getting shot. Alrighty, how you guys doing? This is your girl, Cigar Lady Annette.
And Cigar Dama. Just call me Becky.
And we are in for an awesome conversation tonight.
Let's hope. Let's hope we don't get a bunch of people mad at us.
Oh, we probably will, but
it's
you know,
right.
that's normal.
It's all right.
Of course, what we talk about is our views only. We don't, we don't expect everybody to agree with what we talk about. So, today's topic is
dating in the cigar lounge, bringing a date who doesn't smoke, correct?
Yes.
Into the lounge.
That'd be male or female. So I'm gonna give you my take on it. You could agree or disagree. And again, this is something I've experienced. So I talk about what I've experienced and what I've witnessed over at other lounges, their experiences as well. If you take a date, which is totally awesome, that you can find somebody that doesn't smoke that you can take to the cigar lounge, do you buy them a cigar? Forget the fact that it might be a bar. Let's just talk about a cigar lounge.
Just a lounge that serves alcohol.
No, just a lounge.
Just
serves cigars.
Okay.
We'll talk about the other one next. So you invite a date to join you at the cigar lounge, which occupies seating for people who smoke cigars. What is your take on that?
Well, I may not have a popular view, but this is what I think. I think usually, so if I were to bring someone as a date into a lounge who does not smoke, I tend to, when I come in, buy enough cigars that even if they didn't smoke, it wouldn't be like that chair is being taken and no one's smoking. Or I would hope that they wouldn't behave in a manner that, because I've actually seen, unfortunately I haven't seen men, so this isn't nothing against females, but I've seen women come in with men and get like, do this and be like, be annoyed about
that happened
the
other day.
And be annoyed about the smoke. And so, but they don't end up staying long. That's the good thing. They usually get annoyed and leave. So most people have good manners when they come in. They know they're in a lounge, cigar lounge. They know there's going to be actual smoking going on, because we don't just go there to sit around and talk. We want to smoke our cigars. So I feel like if you go in, I don't feel like you should have to buy someone who doesn't smoke a cigar, but I tend to buy enough that wouldn't bother a lounge owner per se, if I came in, bought one cigar and sat there for hours and hours, and the other person, especially if it was a busy night, someone's taking up seating, and the people who are actually trying to smoke and enjoy themselves can't even sit down or something.
Yeah.
So I would buy enough. Me personally, I would buy enough that would cover who I'm with, even if they don't smoke. And I'd actually try and encourage them to try a cigar.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I totally agree. So this was another question that I posed on Facebook a while back about bringing a date, and I have the same view that she has. If I'm going to bring somebody to the cigar lounge, whether it be one of my homegirls or something that does not smoke cigars, I'm going to make sure I buy enough cigars for she and I. Just like I'm going to smoke them, but it's just like she's smoking. So like me, my rule of thumb, again, it's only my opinion. My rule of thumb is I buy one cigar every 2 hours I'm going to be at the shop. That's just me, because it takes you pretty much 2 hours to smoke a cigar. So you need another cigar for the next 2 hours. Again, that's just me. One of the lounges is like, boy, I wish we had a lot of people that thought that way. But anyway, so
do they experience that most people don't do that?
Of course. Absolutely. I mean, like, I know you come in and I always see you buy a bag of cigars. You might only be here for 2 hours and you still buy a bag of cigars.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I know we smoke them later.
Yeah. You'd be amazed. So now, one of the gentlemen in the Facebook said, why should I have to buy extra cigars for my date?
I don't know if you should necessarily have to. I mean, if you don't feel like you do, and if the lounge owner doesn't care, I mean, I guess that would be fine, and that works for them. And if they come to the lounge enough, they probably know what is expected of them.
Right. And if you're a regular, that's different. And if it's a lounge where there's absolutely nobody in there, but keep in mind, I'll give you an example. My old lounge, I had an event. It was a packed event. I had a gentleman that came in that brought in 4 females with him for the event that didn't smoke. And I was like, well, where in the hell are they going to sit? I mean, we were
so
packed.
He rolled up in there deep.
Yeah, he rolled up with 4 females. And I was like, you do know you got to buy a cigar for each one of them for yourself in order for them to even occupy a seat in this lounge, you know? So there's always exceptions. There is always exceptions to the rules. But I feel that the rule of thumb is, especially if it's crowded, especially if you want to hang out with a date when, you know, it's at one of the lounges where there's, you know, it's crowded. And a lot of people say, well, they go there because they want to hang out with their friends. Buy your date, buy an extra cigar, like if you're buying it for the date. Now, if there's a bar, different story.
Totally different story.
If there's alcohol. Now, most lounge owners believe that you should still buy a cigar per person, because there's that cigar to alcohol ratio. But like I said, I'm sure there's always an exception. So, you know, you buy her a glass of wine or something, or him, you know. Yeah. So,
Either way,
I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, but just know that, again, it's awesome that you get to find somebody that will go with you to the lounge, but respect the rules, that every person that walks in that door is required to buy a cigar, even if you just bought one. So just, you know, I mean, that's just my suggestion.
And my personal thing is, if I'm bringing someone to the lounge, I'm actually going to encourage them to at least try a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so if I were to be bringing a date or girlfriends or anything like that, I'd be like, hey, y'all, at least try it. I would personally get them a cigar. If they're newbies, I'd find something that might work for them. But I would personally probably buy them a cigar myself and say, hey, give it a shot. Absolutely. If you don't like it, you can at least put it out, let it sit there. But at least they tried it.
That's what I do.
At least a cigar was purchased, and at least they tried it. You know,
I had a girlfriend. She would come and buy her little, you know, cheapy little flavored cigar. I knew she was going to leave it in the ashtray, but again, I'm different. So everybody I take to the lounge automatically knows, look, we smoking.
Exactly.
You drinking or we smoking, whatever it is, you know, somebody's going to spend some money up in there. And I even had one of my girlfriends, she bought some stuff for her dude. You know, this is cool, you know, so just know, it's a little windy out here.
Just rowdy. I don't think the gods are agreeing with our opinion here.
Right.
We're getting in trouble over here.
You guys like our new shirts?
Oh, yeah. Aren't these fabulous?
So I'm going to give a shout out to Kimbo in Los Angeles, California. He is now doing apparel, and so he hooked us up with our shirts today.
And I love mine because it's got pink, and you know I love pink.
And look, it matched. So that's funny because I told him hot pink, and it matched perfect.
Yeah.
So it really didn't. Yeah. That's perfect. So and mine is red, so you know, have to do it in red. So thank you, Kimbo. You guys, I'll leave his contact information on there because he gave us a good deal.
He gave us a really good deal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll give his information if anybody wants a shout out. His information. So, shout out his information, contact him. So again, after we finish, I will post this video for your comments, for your questions, for your thoughts. And then we will discuss them in there. Again, it's just our opinion.
Exactly.
And just tell us what you think. And
well, I think everything that we touch upon is things that I've either heard other people talking about in lounges. I've heard some lounge owners speak on. So it's definitely everything we've talked about so far. I know this is only our second one, but it's hot topics for people.
Absolutely.
You know, and like I said, it varies on your lounge. And so, but some lounges expect certain things. So it's always good to know when you're going into a lounge what's expected of you. You know, and then that way you don't get annoyed about it. The owners don't get annoyed, and then everybody has a pleasant time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if it's alcohol, then that's a whole different thing too. You can bring in a group, and sometimes they can make more money on the alcohol than they would have someone who don't smoke a cigar. Yeah, someone who doesn't smoke a cigar might drink more, but not smoke. You know,
what's our topic for next week? So I'm thinking the when you host events. Yeah. You host events that you should.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to give out too much of what we're going to talk about, but our next topic is about hosting events at cigar lounges.
And what's expected on
and what's expected on that. I did a really amazing one last weekend.
Not only for the host, but also for the people who
attend.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Because I'm sure there's going to be rules for hosts.
Oh, I
which will be very interesting to find out what everybody thinks of that.
So you guys stay tuned. Tune in. Again, our show is we air it on, or we broadcast it on, or we film it on the second Tuesday of every month, and then I will have it out on Wednesday. So thank you again for tuning in. We hope you enjoy our show. Hope you like our topics.
We don't want to be too long because we don't want to bore y'all, but we would love any kind of feedback in the comments, any kind of subjects you'd like us to talk about, because we're going to keep it real. Even if it's not popular, we're going to keep it real on what we think. And so anything you want to hear us talk about, let us know.